Hey everyone, it's Leo Bond back once again for the Best Buy Canada plug-in blog, and this time it's with a look at the Traxxas Slash, a two-wheel drive, 1/10 scale RC racing truck. And since I've looked at a few Traxxas radio-controlled vehicles recently, and there are a number of common features amongst these toys, things like the independent suspension systems, I'm going to focus less on some of those common features and look more specifically at what differentiates the Slash from, say, the Rustler that I recently reviewed. And I'm going to especially focus on how the Slash performed during testing. Of course, features and specs are important, so I will at least briefly mention most of the major ones as we go along here. They just won't be my main focus. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so as with the Rustler, I tested the Slash on a variety of different surfaces. And, somewhat surprisingly, at least to me, the results were quite different. Whereas the Rustler seemed to like pavement the best, and loose gravel probably came in second place, the Slash pretty much went completely the other way around. So, for example, with the Rustler I never flipped once on pavement, yet with the Slash I flipped several times. And this is in spite of having a fairly wide wheelbase and a low center of gravity, so I'm not quite sure what was going on there exactly, although the pavement was somewhat damp, and it wasn't the most even lot in the world either. Now, the Slash uses a standard Traxxas TQ controller, which I believe is exactly the same one as the Rustler's, and its battery is a 7-cell NIMH rechargeable ID power cell, which is laid out in a nice flat formation, and it comes with the typical car cigarette fast charger, which is a bit lame, but I guess that's just Traxxas's little way of encouraging us all to pick up one of their ID chargers, which are actually pretty good anyway and probably worth having if for no other reason than to avoid having to charge the battery in your car all the time. But anyway, as for speed, the Slash is actually pretty impressive on this front. It can travel at a top speed of 48 kilometers an hour, which is 30 miles an hour, although the Rustler was actually the faster of the two with a top speed of 56 kilometers an hour, but still 48k is a very good speed for an entry-level RC truck. And of course, I actually did find that the Slash did very well on the loose gravel, no flips or anything like that, so I was quite impressed with it there. And it was also able to really toss the dirt around quite a bit, and I always find that to be one of the more fun aspects of these Traxxas toys. Now, one thing that I really want to talk about is the modding possibilities with these Traxxas radio-controlled vehicles. Many of the parts that come on an entry-level model, such as the Slash here, are made of plastic or other vulnerable materials that can often be quite susceptible to breakage in a bad enough crash or simply from getting a fair amount of use over time. But one of the really fun aspects of having a Traxxas vehicle is the ability to not only fix problems and replace broken and damaged parts yourself, but also to replace weaker parts with more heavy-duty ones that are often made of materials such as aluminum and are therefore far more resistant to breaking. You can actually swap out practically any part of a Traxxas RC vehicle for a lighter, stronger, faster, more durable, or simply just a better part. You can even do a total engine replacement if you want to put something in there that has even more power. So I would have to say that getting to play mechanic is at least 50% of the draw of the RC hobby. So it's worth keeping that in mind if you're considering jumping in. After all, it's not just about the driving. And of course, Traxxas provides several basic tools to help get you started in that direction, as well as numerous other bits and pieces that allow you to modify or at least maintain your vehicle. As for the Slash's running time, it's meant to be in the 10 to 15 minute range, but all I kept getting was about 7 to 8 minutes on each separate run, so I suspect that my battery just wasn't getting fully charged between each session, even though the light on my charger did keep indicating that the charge was complete after roughly 30 to 60 minutes of charging time, so possibly an issue there with my charger, I'm just not too sure. And I think that's all I'm going to have to say about the old Traxxas Slash for now. It is a lot of fun to drive, and as usual from Traxxas, it's got a good balance of speed, power, and other characteristics that make for a really fun RC vehicle. Of course, there are a few drawbacks, such as the lack of a charger that plugs into a standard wall outlet and the stability issues on pavement are a little bit annoying as well. Now, I do personally prefer the Rustler myself over the Slash, but that's primarily just due to my own personal preference. The Rustler is a little bit faster, but they both offer plenty of solid features, and they both occupy the same sort of entry-level territory within the RC hobby. So, all in all, I'd be very happy to own either of these models, though I think I would definitely do some serious modding to strengthen the chassis with more aluminum parts, and that is my final word. Now, if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please give it a like or a share, and do consider sticking around for some of my upcoming videos as well. I've got a ton of really cool stuff in the queue right now, and in fact, I just managed to get my hands on the Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi Force FX lightsaber. That's the green one from Hasbro's The Black series, and I'll have that review ready very, very soon, along with several others over the next few weeks. So hopefully we'll see you in the next video, but until then, this is Leo Bond signing off and saying thanks everyone for watching, and have an excellent day.
And that's a wrap.